I'm Shavar Dias, and I spell it Shavar, and I'm here interviewing Sister Milli Dawson. So let's get started. All right, where were you born?
Fort Anderson, Iowa.
How long did you live there?
For 2.5 years after I was born here, we moved to Mount Pleasant, Iowa.
What type of education have you gotten?
Graduated from high school in Mount Pleasant, and also I have attended Kirkwood Community College.
When you were there, what did you major in, or what activities did you partake in?
Human relations.
What church do you attend?
Living Waters Kingdom Church.
And what roles do you play at that church?
I'm the musician for the children's choir and also one of the mothers of the church.
And what is it to be a mother in a church?
Well, with me being a little bit on the elderly side, I think that it's giving spiritual and wisdom, and also with nurturing the younger women of the church. And
you're married to Deacon Milli Dawson?
Yes.
And what is it like to be his wife? What is it like to be a deacon's wife?
There's a lot of things that are more or less expected from being the wife of a deacon. In other words, to live a Christian life, to assist him in what requirements that he has, and being a deacon, and just be the best wife that I can be.
Does it seem like you have to hold yourself to higher standards since he's in the more higher of a power in the church?
Let's say that I do that anyway with being a Christian, first of all, and then being a deacon's wife. They do expect higher standards.
There's not a lot of segregation nowadays, but when you were younger, did you feel a lot of segregation? Not as much as I feel if I had grown up in the South. I did have several incidents, within the school, when I went to school. One, for instance, the 6th grade teacher in front of all of the class said the reason why black people have kinky hair is because they had a forest fire in Africa, and all of the people got down in a hole, and when the fire came by, it singed their hair off, and that's why black people have kinky hair. And I really didn't appreciate, her response, but I guess that's what she believed. And also, when I was in 8th grade, I took my report card home, and I got a D in spelling. And I was afraid to take it home because I knew I was going to be in trouble with my mom. But when my mother approached the teacher and asked her why I got a D, she said the teacher said she knew that I was getting the words right, but I had to cheat because black people were not that smart. And then also in high school, there were a couple of boys that would take, in the winter, especially in the wintertime, they would take my gloves and my hat and throw them up on top of a lady's house, and I would have to go home in the snow and the cold without my hat and my gloves because they would take those things away from me, and they would say that, we did that to you because you were black and you weren't supposed to have those kind of things. Some black people, just people in general, some things happen like that to them. Some people let it build them up, and some let it tear them down. How did you take it?
I was always told from my parents that I would probably have a lot of things said and a lot of things done to me, but if they didn't actually put their hands on me, I was not to fight back. So
Can you tell me any stories, any like big moments that have happened in your life?
In reference to,
Just life in general, childhood, school, hanging out with your friends, parents.
I think one of the highlights of my life was being the director of the Linn County Veteran Affairs and I worked in the office for.
And what is that exactly?
It's assisting veterans that return from the war, and also giving them, the advice that they need in filling out forms to get assistance and referring them to the Veterans Home in Marshalltown and also the VA Hospital in Iowa City. And it was very comforting to me to be able to work with the veterans and to help them, because a lot of times they would come in the office and just sit, and they did not want to talk to their family, but they would come in and sit in my office and not say anything, and I would go on and do my work. And a lot of times they would say thank you for the time, and then they would leave. They wouldn't talk to me and tell me anything, but just to be able to be there for them, that meant a lot to me. If I was able to help them and to help their family. And also, I started playing for the church when I was 12 years old, and I'm almost 72, so I've been playing in church for over 60 years.
Do you feel like you've lived up to, or do you feel that you've lived up to what you thought you could be, or did you think you'd be more?
I think in a lot of ways I feel that I have, and in some ways not. My siblings all have college degrees. I wanted to finish at Kirkwood and then go on, to college and finish. I have a daughter that has her doctorate degree and a professor at a college in Greensboro, North Carolina. I have another daughter that will graduate with her bachelor's degree next month, and then I have 4 grandchildren in college. So that was one of the goals that I wanted to reach. I wasn't able to do that, but I feel that with having my children and my grandchildren, that kind of fills in that spot for me.